And we're back. This is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here on CCW TV. We're going to finish up our trio of Brian Bendis book reviews with a look at the return of Powers. Powers #1 by Brian Bendis and Michael von Oeming. This is a book that got me into Bendis in the first place. I mean, I started reading this and then got into his Ultimate Spider-Man. And those were the first two books of his that that really turned me into Bendis fans. And I really, really enjoyed Powers. I enjoyed Powers even more than Ultimate Spider-Man because I thought this was really Bendis in his element, the gritty crime drama stuff. So I always had fun with that. Ultimate Spider-Man was his more accessible stuff. It was him writing for teenagers, you know, which was, and I thought he was really adept at that in the beginning. So, after so many frustrations and disappointments with Bendis over the past year with his mainstream stuff, I was thinking, yes, finally. Back to the indie stuff, back to Powers. This is where Bendis is most at home. This is where I'm going to just get the old Brian Bendis back. And I got to say, for the first couple pages of Powers, you have Michael von Oeming doing some really Eisner-esque type spreads. You know, really cool, moody stuff. And the first few pages, you have Christian Walker's new partner chasing after a Powers virus junkie who looks suspiciously like Joss Whedon. Yeah. So, to hear someone who looks like Joss Whedon say, "Oh, you cunt bag," was kind of a shock. It was kind of a disorienting, and but I was holding out hope. I thought, okay, Bendis had to have his in-joke here. You know, Joss Whedon reads this and gets a chuckle out of it. You know, he's running around, he's got a Mutant Enemies logo on the back of his jacket, you know, so Joss Whedon's, going to get a chuckle. I kept waiting for this book to find itself. I kept waiting for the old Powers feeling to come back, and damn if it never, ever happened. Because for a book that's supposed to be starting over you, all new story, new format, new pages, it was just a continuation of so much heavy-handed continuity that's been going on in Powers leading up to now, that if you've never read Powers before, I'm afraid you're going to be kind of lost here. You're going to be lost. And it's not going to be a case of, coming into this book fresh as a new jumping on point and going, oh, yeah, wow, this is something cool. Cops in a universe, where people have powers. And then, oh, God. Just when you're trying to get yourself oriented in Christian Walker's world and you have the cool setup, every Powers story arc starts with a body in a room. Right. Then Bendis flashes back and turns Christian Walker into Ray Liotta from Goodfellas. And I just got annoyed at that point, because to me, Powers was always the most original book on the market, and to see Bendis kind of like ripping off conventions from movies and everything else was just really a letdown for me.
But that's all Brian Michael Bendis does nowadays.
Nowadays, it seems like, look, I swear, it's, again, it's a total, the book totally turns into Goodfellas, and they even make a Goodfellas reference there.
Of course they do.
I was hoping for just, to be refreshed and get some classic Bendis, and it seems like Bendis is just getting too clever for his own good right now.
And you get some good butt sex.
Oh yeah, you got let's see, Bendis. I mean, Oeming does the heavy lifting in this book. You have a very long involved sex sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. A 5-page sequence of Christian Walker having sex with his partner, And then in the middle of it, something happens, and she's having flashbacks to Walker's previous lives, or maybe her previous lives. And again, if you've never read Powers before, you have no fucking idea what's going on here. And I don't know why you needed 4 pages to do this. I really don't know why.
It's called padding the issue.
Apparently so, because, you know, I know that Bendis really likes, taking his time with his storytelling and letting the story grow and breathe organically, as he says. But man, this felt padded. And then here's the killer. And I told John Suntress this once. What kind of pisses me off that Bendis does this all the time. I told him, tell Bendis this for me. He takes his fucking interviews on other websites and he puts them in the book.
Yeah.
So he pads out his letters page.
Because you can't get those for free on the internet.
Yeah, really. The letters page is padded out, and then, you know, he talks about how he's keeping the letters page alive. Well, 2 pages of the letters page are a reprinted article, a reprinted interview with him from online, and then 2 pages of that, another 2 pages of that are him just plugging all his books and the stuff that he's done before. And the book is $3.95, and you got 30 pages of art. So, reading this was the one Bendis book that I was still reading and actually buying. I'm not sure if I'm sticking with it.
Aww.
I'm really not sure if I'm sticking with it. Not after this. I think I'm getting kind of fed up. I'm getting kind of fed up with this. As someone, I want to get story for my money. I want to get something, and I really feel like I'm getting more. It's more cotton candy. A lot of fluff.
Why is he plugging a Powers Annual 2008?
I don't know.
Came out a year ago.
You know, maybe he's got a few boxes in his basement he's trying to unload.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was really disappointed. I was pretty disappointed, especially considering this is a book that has made me his fan. You know what this was like? This felt like Lucas making the prequels.
No.
That's what it was like.
I don't know. I got like 5 pages into this thing. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, what about it really turned you off? The Joss. Oh, you cunt bag out of Joss Whedon's
As soon as I
mouth.
saw "Oh, you cunt bag," I was like, Bendis is back to his normal form.
Out
Like,
of the
and then I was like reading it, and then that's all it was a bunch of swearing, and you know, it just I don't know. And then I got to that Vegas scene, I was like, I'm done.
Man, killing me. If you had told me that of the 3 Bendis books I'd read this week, that the Dark Avengers Annual would be the one I'd like the most, I would have said, fuck no way. And yet,
I would even put the Siege better than from what I read of this Powers, and that's not even
well, the
saying
Siege
anything
made
good.
more sense. The Siege was more accessible. The
And
problem
it was
with
cunt bag free.
yeah, really, the Powers was not accessible. You know, unless
Yeah,
you've been reading.
I never read Powers. I only read like the first trade. I actually owned the first trade, and I actually liked it. And then they give you this like previously in Powers like this like 5 sentences, and then I was reading that. I'm like, all right, so that really didn't tell me anything because I don't know what the hell's been going on for the last 5 years in this book. And then I'm reading it, and I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on.
I still don't know what's going on. Right.
Nope.
So disappointment.
Not new reader friendly.
Swing and a miss. All right. So that concludes our Brian Bendis triple play.
Thank God.
When we come back, we will go to more safe environs, namely books we like. We hope you join us.